People, welcome to another newspaper breakdown. Just finished watching Prime Minister's Questions, which was hell. They're just all so bad at it, aren't they? Like, Liz Truss is trying to be aggressive, just pointing their finger and, no, I do this, you don't do anything, rah, rah, rah. Not seemingly, it's the reason it's Prime Minister's Questions and not opposition. If you want to ask the questions, carry on doing what you're doing. You're going to lose the next election. I mean, she won't be there to be asking the questions to whoever's the next Prime Minister, will she? It's just fucking... It's such a pointless fucking exercise. The whole Prime Minister's Questions, because they don't answer any questions. It's just a bunch of children shouting. We have to watch it, going, these are the people who we voted for. You voted for these fucking children to lead you, to make decisions on your behalf, and they can't even discuss things. There's no concept of truth, no concept of fact. All there is constant lying, and the noises they make. You wouldn't hear those noises on a fucking stag do. You've got more Tory unrest. Today's paper is the Guardian. It's the reason for that. Well, not only is it one of the only papers that isn't an absolute crock of shit, but it goes on to a story later. There's more Tory unrest over public spending cuts. Of course, Jeremy Hunt, who is our Chancellor this week, is coming in for austerity 2.0, because the first time wasn't mean enough, seemingly. That's still going on, by the way. The idea that austerity has stopped is a fucking fallacy. It's a lie. Once you've made cuts, and this is the problem that you've constantly got with the past 12 years. Any time a Tory goes in, be it Johnson, May, Cameron, Truss, goes, I think you'll find we've put this amount of money actually into the NHS. They go, yes, but you cut tons. It was the whole police figure. And they kept on going on, well, we're going to have 20,000 new police. Yeah, but you cut 21. It's meaningless. It is all you're doing is bringing us back to par. But these cuts currently at risk. You've got the likes of health service, defence, and pensions. Pensions are the bits that everyone's going on about. Because, I mean, going after the people who tend to vote for you is madness. But that's their thing. They're potentially going to get rid of the pension triple lock, and the triple lock states that the state pension must rise each year in line with the highest of inflation average earnings, or 2.5%. Whichever's higher, then whichever's the highest of that. That's where we're looking for. And currently we're just come out that inflation is up 10.1%. Now, the issue for September figures is September figure is normally the figure that is used for the pension triple lock. So, because it's jumped up to 10.1% in September, if you're going to be going along with the triple lock, then you have to raise pensions by 10.1%. But this is the second time this year that inflation has gone over 10%. It's the sharpest rise in food prices for more than 40 years. So you've got soaring food and drink costs, the biggest driver of the raise of the inflation. Now you've got, I mean, we've all seen, you may have seen, I don't know what you do, but you've seen like butter under lock and key now. You've got like packs of Lurpak that are now locked down, that you have to go and get someone to open it for you after you've paid for it. This is where we are now. We're at a point where, I mean, you've got more fucking security over bloody butter. Can you even consider that world? Oh no. Listen, if someone's stealing butter, it's because they're hungry. This isn't a flat screen TV. Now, poor people, poor people aren't holding back on cash. So with the lack of with the rise of inflation, I mean everything costs more. Wages have stagnated for years. Our productivity has died on its whole. A few years ago, I was doing research on productivity, and our productivity was at the same as it was in like the 1800s. It was so low. Um, and there are things to do with that. I mean, potentially something like a 4-day week. Keep the prices the same, a 4-day week. I've yet to see a study that shows a 4-day week is bad. Productivity tends to go up with that. If you take away the Monday or the Friday with regards to work, then the majority of people I know, especially like when I was working full time, you'll be put it off, put it off, I'll put it off. You only got 4 days, you'll get everything done. Then you'll fuck off for a few days and enjoy yourself. Actually live life, have fun, meet someone. The BBC are preparing a secret script to broadcast if energy shortages, the word, cause blackouts. They're going to be fun to listen to, aren't they? You know, imagine how good your core's going to be with all that fucking shivering. Silver linings. Analysis has found that the only active fracking site in the UK have been having earthquakes and a daily occurrence caused by fracking, of course. 192 earthquakes over a 182-day period. Today is a vote on more fracking. So that's going to be fun. That's the big thing after PMQs. Tories are going to, if you want to know how it's going to go, Tories are placing a hard line 3-line whip, which means that they're basically telling all the MPs, you vote for this or you lose the whip. That's what's going on, because they're seeing it as a vote of confidence for the government. And as you know, the only real good way of getting a vote of confidence to show that everyone's backing you is forcing them to do so. This goes back to what I've said many times previously. If a Tory votes for this, and their argument is, well, it was a 3-line whip. If you're forced into, and you don't have the bollocks, the fucking morality, integrity to not vote to end the fucking world, then you're the problem. It's very simple. It's not difficult to comprehend. And finally, we're going to talk about a final piece of news is Suella Braverman, who's the Home Secretary, of course. And there's a concern I have with Home Secretaries that there must be something they're told. Every Tory or every Labour person, well, Tory really, because it's how it's gone from Theresa May, they must be told that they have to be more of a cunt than the previous one. And then when Suella Braverman was made Home Secretary, she got scared because the previous one was Priti Patel, and that's one hell of a cunt. So she must have been frightened, like, Christ, I'm going to have to go in deep, I'm going to have to go in hard, proper show that I'm the biggest cunt here. She was defending the public order bill that has come back into the House that attempts to crack down on protesting, because who needs freedom? Including new offences for disrupting major transport networks. Of course, with a protest, it's important to be very quiet and not seen and not do anything to annoy anyone else, because that's a good protest. It's not, of course it's not. It's irony, isn't it? That's what I was doing now. I was playing off some cheeky irony. Suella Braverman blamed the protests on Guardian reading, tofu eating, wokerati. Now, woke is the new smurf. That's it. It's used for any meaning that any twat wants to fucking use it for. It is a pointless word used by fucking idiots. And the wokerati. Fuck you, mate. Fuck you. That's who she blamed for protests. That's also why I got the fucking Guardian today. I was going to get the Mirror, but... the bill also attempts to place the burden of proof onto defendants, making it closer to fucking Twitter. like this on Twitter, you chuck away and you see, oh, well, this person's obviously a cunt. Well, it's innocent until proven guilty. No, in the court of law it is. In life, it rarely is. It rarely is fucking innocent until proven guilty. You hear a story. I mean, there's tons of them in the comedy world. You hear a story about someone who's a sexual predator. It changes your perception of them. That's what it does, and you treat them differently. Now, whether that's right or wrong, that is how life works. That is not how our law works. The burden of proof is not on the innocent. It is not on the defendant. The burden of proof is on the prosecution. That's why you have a prosecution there. If it was just, you wouldn't need a prosecution. You could have put Suella Braverman to do all of them, and of course she's only a QC because she became an AG. So now, some people accused of offences will have to prove their own innocence. This is, I mean, you don't want to say fascism. It's far right, shall we say. Far right. The constant looking for a villain, and now the woke aspect and painting them as a villain is fascism. That's one of the stages of fascism, but that's not just aligned to fascism. It's all far-right totalitarian horseshit. Hope you find something to make yourself smile today, because it's not going to be this.